Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world where no one knows your next move. A world where your dreams are guarded, your struggles are unseen, and your happiness is yours alone. Imagine living with a sense of freedom so deep that you no longer worry about who is watching, who is judging, or who is waiting for you to fail. That world can be your reality. The key is simple, yet often ignored. Make your life private, and you will find happiness. We live in a time where everyone feels pressured to share everything. Every meal, every trip, every thought, every achievement. We post it online, tell it to acquaintances, broadcast it to the world, and we think it makes us connected. But in truth, it makes us vulnerable. The more we reveal, the more power we give others over our emotions. And the more we rely on their approval, the weaker our own sense of peace becomes. Privacy is not about hiding, it's about protecting. Protecting your mind, your energy, your joy, your freedom. Why privacy matters in modern life. Let's be honest, the modern world thrives on exposure. Social media wants your life story. Corporations want your data. Strangers want your attention. But ask yourself this, when you share everything, who benefits? Do you feel stronger? Or do you feel emptier, waiting for validation? Privacy matters because it restores balance. It gives you back control over your life. It allows you to live on your own terms, not on the stage of public opinion. Human nature craves belonging. We want to be seen, to be acknowledged, to feel part of a group. But here's the paradox. When you overshare, you don't gain belonging. You trade your peace for performance. You stop living for yourself and start living for the audience. And audiences are fickle. One day they cheer, the next day they criticize. If your happiness depends on that, you will always be chasing. Privacy cuts the strings. It gives you back the power to live quietly, intentionally, authentically. Think about this. The happiest people are not the ones shouting their joy from the rooftops. They are the ones who quietly live it, who don't need to prove it, who don't need an audience to validate it. Privacy is strength. Privacy is dignity. Privacy is self-respect. The dangers of oversharing. When you give too much of yourself away, piece by piece, you end up with nothing left that feels sacred. Oversharing exposes your vulnerabilities to people who may not care, or worse, who may use them against you. It creates unnecessary noise in your life. It invites opinions, gossip, jealousy, and criticism that you never asked for, but cannot avoid once the doors are open. Oversharing also damages your mental health. Psychologists have studied the effects of constant comparison, and the results are clear. The more we reveal and compare, the more anxious, insecure, and dissatisfied we feel. Why? Because once your life becomes public, you can't control how it's perceived. People twist your story, misunderstand your intentions, judge your choices. And suddenly, your happiness is no longer in your hands. Think of a candle. Its flame is fragile. When it's guarded from the wind, it burns steadily, giving warmth and light. But expose it to every breeze, every gust, and soon the flame flickers, weakens, and goes out. Your private life is that flame. Protect it, and it grows. Expose it to everything, and it fades. Oversharing also steals your mystery. When everyone knows everything about you, there's nothing left that is truly yours. Mystery is power. Mystery makes you unpredictable, untouchable, unshakable. When you are private, people cannot use what they don't know. They cannot attack what they cannot see. They cannot interfere with what they cannot access. Privacy is your armor. The psychology of privacy and peace. Science backs this truth. The human brain craves safety. When you live publicly, when you expose your every thought, every plan, every struggle, you invite uncertainty. And uncertainty creates stress. Your mind is constantly on alert. Who saw this? Who's judging? Who's talking about me? That mental load drains you. But when you live privately, your mind relaxes. You no longer worry about outside noise. You no longer carry the weight of other people's opinions. Privacy reduces mental clutter. It gives you peace of mind. Consider this. Happiness is not about more things, more praise, more attention. Happiness is about balance. And balance comes when your inner world is calm. Privacy creates that calm. It shields you from unnecessary drama, from toxic comparisons, from the endless race to impress. In privacy, you rediscover the beauty of simple living. Human nature seeks control. We want to feel in charge of our destiny. Oversharing gives that control away. Privacy gives it back. When no one knows your next move, no one can sabotage it. When no one knows your struggles, no one can mock them. When no one knows your plans, no one can block them. Privacy is freedom, and freedom is happiness. Privacy and relationships. Now let's talk about relationships. Many people believe sharing everything with friends, family, or even strangers builds closeness. But closeness is not built by exposure. It's built by trust. And trust is selective. You don't need to reveal every detail of your life to be loved. In fact, the healthiest relationships thrive on boundaries. When you make your life private, you filter who deserves access. You don't lock everyone out. You simply choose carefully who gets to come in. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not everyone deserves to know your dreams, your pains, your secrets. Privacy teaches you to value yourself enough to be selective. Think about it this way. Your heart is like a home. Would you leave your front door open for strangers to walk in and out? Of course not. You would invite only those you trust, those who respect your space, those who bring peace rather than chaos. The same rule applies to your private life. Psychology shows that boundaries create respect. When you are private, people learn to value the parts of you that are shared. Scarcity creates value. If you reveal everything, nothing feels special. But if you hold back, if you choose carefully, what you share becomes precious. In love, privacy strengthens intimacy. A relationship is sacred not because the world knows about it, but because the two people inside it protect it. Oversharing your relationship with the world invites judgment, envy, and pressure. Keeping it private allows it to grow in peace. Friendships, too, become stronger when privacy is respected. True friends don't need constant updates. They don't demand exposure. They understand your silence. They respect your space. In fact, privacy helps you distinguish between true friends and false ones. Those who respect your boundaries are genuine. Those who demand your secrets are not. And family, even there, privacy has value. You can love your family deeply while still keeping parts of your life just for yourself. Self-respect means not everyone gets to own your story. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors with locks. You choose who has the key. We've already explored why privacy matters, how oversharing steals your peace, and how relationships are strengthened by boundaries. Now let's go deeper. Privacy isn't just about peace of mind. It's also about power, growth, and lasting success. Privacy and success. Look around at the most successful people in the world. Not the loudest ones, not the ones constantly posting their every move, but the real achievers, the ones who build legacies. They understand one rule: never announce your moves before they are ready. Privacy protects your progress. Why? Because when you talk too much about your goals, two things happen. First, your brain releases dopamine as if you've already achieved them. This creates false satisfaction and lowers your drive to actually follow through. Second, the more people know, the more resistance you invite. Some will doubt you. Some will discourage you. Some will secretly wish for your failure. And suddenly, your energy is spent defending your dream instead of building it. Privacy is the shield that allows your vision to grow without interference. Your dreams are like young plants. In the beginning, they are fragile. If exposed too soon, they can be trampled, uprooted, or destroyed by harsh weather. But if you protect them, nurture them quietly, let them take root in private, they will grow strong enough to withstand anything. This doesn't mean you must isolate yourself. It means you choose carefully who you share with. Share your dreams only with those who can water them, not with those who might poison them. Privacy in success is not secrecy born of fear. It is wisdom born of self-respect. Remember, lions don't roar while hunting. They move silently, patiently, strategically. When the moment comes, they strike with precision. Be the same with your goals. Move in silence. Work in silence. Let your success speak when it's ready. That is the true power of a private life. Practical steps to living a private life. Now you may be asking, how do I actually make my life private? Let's turn philosophy into practice. Stop announcing your every move. Resist the urge to broadcast your plans, your struggles, your wins. Keep them close until they are complete. Limit social media exposure. The world doesn't need daily updates of your life. Share selectively, or better yet, not at all. Protect your energy from unnecessary opinions. Create boundaries in relationships. You can love people deeply while still keeping parts of your life for yourself. Learn to say, "That's personal," without guilt. Protect your dreams. Only share your goals with people who genuinely support you. Don't let the wrong audience shape your path. Guard your struggles. Everyone goes through hard times, but not everyone deserves to witness yours. Heal in private. Grow in private. Value silence. Not every question needs an answer. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Silence is power. Practice detachment. The less people know, the less they can control. Don't give anyone unnecessary leverage over your emotions. Focus inward. When your happiness comes from within, you don't need outside validation. Build a life so full that it doesn't need an audience. Living privately does not mean living in fear. It means living intentionally. It means taking ownership of your life and deciding what is worth sharing and what is worth keeping sacred. Philosophical insights on privacy. Throughout history, the wisest thinkers understood the value of privacy. The Stoics taught that peace comes from within, not from external recognition. They believed that a quiet mind is a powerful mind. Eastern philosophies echo the same. Happiness is not in showing the world, but in being at peace with yourself. Think of the monks who live in silence, the sages who retreat into solitude, the poets who wrote their best works in quiet rooms away from crowds. They knew that creativity, wisdom, and happiness bloom in privacy. Even in modern times, philosophy reminds us, oversharing is ego-driven, privacy is wisdom-driven. The ego wants attention. Wisdom wants peace. The ego needs applause. Wisdom needs nothing. The ego is loud. Wisdom is quiet. When you make your life private, you are not shrinking, you are expanding. You are growing roots so deep that storms cannot shake you. You are building strength so solid that no opinion can move you. Privacy is the soil in which greatness grows. Privacy as the path to happiness. At the heart of it all, privacy leads to happiness. Why? Because it removes noise. It removes comparison. It removes the constant pressure to perform for an audience. In privacy, you can finally live for yourself. Happiness is not found in telling the world you are happy. Happiness is found in the quiet moments no one sees. In laughter with someone you love. In a goal achieved silently. In peace that doesn't need to be advertised. When your life is private, your happiness is real. It's not a performance. It's not dependent on likes, comments, or applause. It's yours. And that kind of happiness is unshakable. Psychology confirms this. People who live with healthy boundaries, who protect their privacy, report higher levels of peace and satisfaction. Why? Because they are not constantly pulled into the chaos of comparison. They are not slaves to public opinion. They are free. And freedom is happiness. A final call to action. So let me speak directly to you. Make your life private. Protect your dreams. Guard your struggles. Cherish your wins quietly. The less people know, the happier you will be. Not because you are hiding, but because you are protecting what is sacred. Understand this. You do not owe the world your story. You do not owe strangers your life. You do not owe anyone access to your peace. Your life is your responsibility, your garden, your masterpiece. And not everyone deserves a seat at your table. From this day forward, live with intention. Live with boundaries. Live with the strength to keep your private world safe. And in that safety, happiness will grow. When people look at you, let them wonder. Let them be curious. Let them guess. Because mystery is power. And power, when guided by peace, creates a life of deep, unshakable happiness. So choose wisely. Choose privacy. Choose happiness. Choose yourself. Because the happiest life is not the loudest. The happiest life is the one lived quietly, deeply, privately, and joyfully.